Alright, y'all, so today we are reading more of Say What You Mean. This is more of a proof of concept here. I think there might be some music in the background, but it's not too loud. So, we are just gonna start from getting down to what matters. It says, now here's my secret. It is very simple. It is only with one's heart that one can see clearly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Imagine what it would be like, no matter what anyone said or did, you were able to hear the deeper concerns beneath their words and actions. What would it be like to see into their heart and sense what they were truly longing for? To feel natural empathy for that person, or to know intuitively what was most important to you in any given situation. This is possible. It's the result of training our attention to identify human needs and values. It is a practice that is at once transformative, powerful, and liberating. It can take time and a certain discipline of attention to learn to see it this way, but it's entirely within our grasp, and the results are profound. In Chapter 5, we explored one of the fundamental views at the heart of communication practice. Everything we do to meet a need. So, every time we communicate, and even when we're not communicating. This is so core that I want to delve deeper into the implications of this perspective and the training of attention that supports it. To realize the transformative power of this skill, we need to learn about needs and values. Being skilled at identifying needs and relating to them wisely brings more insight, freedom, and choice, allowing us to navigate even the most difficult relationships. We're talking like those severed ones, those burnt bridges, and maybe some of the permanently burnt bridges. But that's being pretty hopeful. When I was first introduced to the concept of needs at a communication workshop in my early 20s, I was astounded. I'd been going through a fairly rough patch, feeling lonely, struggling to find my place in the world, getting into conflicts with coworkers and family. What does that sound like? Learning that there were real reasons behind my emotions was a revelation and a relief. I found that a new tool to understand behavior that made sense intuitively. We are each just doing our best to meet our needs. And what our best is to meet our needs is sometimes absolutely terrible. And yelling or screaming, right? Or for some people it's hitting things, and for some other people it's hitting people. It goes all the way to violence and death. In nonviolent communication and the work of many psychologists and social theorists, the term need refers to something very specific, different from ordinary usages. Colloquially, we might say, I need you to listen to me, or I need you to be on time. These are strategies, ideas about how to meet our needs. Needs are what matter beneath our strategies. They are fundamental values that drive our actions. If I want you to listen to me, I may need understanding, a desire for more punctuality, maybe about valuing respect, teamwork, or efficiency. These bugs really like me. Needs are the core values that motivate our actions. They're what matters most, the root reasons for why we want what we want. They bolded that one, so it must be important or something. We can think of needs as facets of our humanity. They are universal, positive qualities that animate a flourishing human life. We all share the same needs, though we feel them with varying degrees of intensity and have different strategies to meet them. Anything that's tied to a specific person, place, time, object, or action is a strategy. Some strategies succeed, some do not. Some are wise, and some are unwise. Any action can be understood as an attempt to meet many needs. We take a walk for health, relaxation, or to clear our head. Similarly, there are many strategies to meet a given need. We might relax by talking to a friend, going out, or doing yoga. Or if you're me, just going to the park, running, playing video games. Even monks play video games. Not like, at the temple, but when they're done with their training and all that. The constellation of needs. Abraham Maslow was one of the primary figures to introduce the concept of human needs in the modern era. In his formative theory of psychological health, he proposed a hierarchy of needs, sometimes depicted as a pyramid, with our most basic psychological needs at the base, relation needs such as higher communities, belonging, back in the middle. My windy out. Hold on just a second, y'all. There we go. Like I said, work in progress, right? It's crazy that the wind is strong enough to blow over like a phone. In higher needs, such as meaning, fulfillment, and peace towards the top, Maslow's work was... Oh, it's Maslow! That is so embarrassing, because, for me, I always thought it was Laszlo's. Oh my god. And I know I'm not alone, I have heard people say that. Maslow's work was further developed by human psychologist Carl Rogers, who went on to mention Marshall Rosenberg. The concept of a hierarchy of needs points to the fact that in many situations it becomes difficult to attend to higher needs when more basic ones are not met. And some of them say it's impossible, right? Like if you're, let's say if you don't have food, water, sleep, sex, homeostasis, you can kind of pretend to have self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect others, but it's pseudo, right? It's not like, and you don't need all those things, okay? Like, you don't need sex, right? Like, basically, it's usually just like shelter and water and food. But that list, it goes on, and I think we're gonna talk about that more in just a sec. Yet there's no absolute hierarchy of needs. There are countless ways in which we rise to the occasion above our basic needs. We may find patience to bear with a difficult conversation when we're stressed. Parents and partners make daily acts of self-sacrifice for children and lovers. Throughout history and to this day, individuals find strength, compassion, and forgiveness in terrible situations of violence and poverty. So here's the, I could show you, but you guys aren't going to be able to see it because it's backwards, but it's just Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And we'll start from the bottom. The very bottom is breathing, food, water, sex, sleep, homeostasis, and excretion. So pooping. Right above that is safety, security of body, employment, resources, morality, family, health, and property. Going to love and belonging, family, friendship, and sexual intimacy. Above that is esteem, self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, respect by others. And at the top is self-actualization. Morality, creativity, spontaneity, problem-solving, lack of prejudice, and acceptance of facts. Right? Facts don't care about your feelings. I'm just fucking with you. So, this is believe this is the last page here, which is perfect. I am often moved when I think of people such as Nelson Mandela, who after 27 harsh years in prison, unable to attend the funerals of his own mother and son, famously said, "As I walked out of the door towards the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison." Or I think of Etty Hilmsville, a Jewish woman whose diaries and letters tell of her extraordinary inner transformation during World War II in occupied Amsterdam, and later in a camp prior to being sent to Auschwitz. She dropped a note from the train en route to Auschwitz. When she did, where she died. She died in Auschwitz. The note read, "We left the camp singing." Those 5 words speak volumes about the strength of the human spirit to rise above circumstances. There is a deep well of resilience in human beings. We are not and can never be entirely self-sufficient, but we can develop our inner capacities of self-reliance to a tremendous degree. That word is so tainted now. Needs are fluid. There is no set of hierarchy, universally or within the individual. Rather, our needs are a constellation of interrelated qualities within each of us. Those kids are way farther away than you're thinking. Like, we're talking like, I don't know, a football field or more. I'm not kidding. The ones we value most at any particular time are determined by a myriad of challenging factors. And yet, all of our needs matter. Human beings can survive for a few minutes without air, for a few days without water, and for a few weeks without food. When our relational and higher needs are not met, there is also real damage. It is just further delayed in time. Infants will die without loving touch. This is true, by the way. You could feed the infant, you could give it water, but if you're not holding it or touching it, it dies. It dies. Children raised without sufficient care and empathy may struggle to form healthy relationships in life. Many of us must work hard to heal sufficiently from the absence of such core relational needs early in life. Adults can only go so long without human warmth. I'm going to say that one more time for all of us. Adults can only go so long without human warmth and meaning before the mind becomes twisted and the spirit breaks. You know, the whole basement dwellers memes and yeah, you guys know. The list of human needs in the following practice isn't intended to be complete. It indicates the range of needs we have as humans, any of which may be present at any time. Nonviolent communication trainers have shared a version of this needs list with people all over the world, from all cultural walks of life, asking, "Do you need these to thrive?" With small nuances, the answer is always yes. I'm not going to read all of these, but I'll just read a couple. Self-expression, challenge, aliveness, beauty, communion, sexual expression, love, tenderness, warmth, touch, care, compassion, consideration, empathy, kindness, mutual recognition, power, independence, ease, choice, autonomy. Wow, autonomy is highlighted. Interesting. Okay, I'll read some of these highlighted ones actually. Physical sustenance, so food, affection, sense of self, autonomy. Those are the highlighted ones, I think. Sense of self, transcendence. Yeah, interesting. And the reason they are highlighted, probably because they're more important. Thank you all for watching. I love you, and I will see you next time.